Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly and I make everything gluten-free and vegan. However, today we're not making anything, okay? So today I've decided, as you all know, or maybe you don't, that I was diagnosed with celiac disease about almost 4 years ago now. Almost exactly 4 years ago. By the time you're seeing this, 4 years ago. However, I still have plenty of gut problems. Okay, in my last update video you saw just a couple months ago, actually like 1 month ago, that I actually found out that my thyroid is underactive and therefore that was causing a bunch of gut problems in itself. I gave it some time. I'm like, okay, I won't change anything in my diet, whatever. Let's see if maybe this was just the culprit all along. So it has been a little bit over a month since I have been medicated for it, and everything is much better. However, I still have my days where, specifically like last week or the week before, where I was fine for like 4 or 5 days, and then all of a sudden, like I felt sick, I had no energy, I just felt yucky. Like I would just eat a little bit of my breakfast and be like, yeah, I did not feel good. My stomach would be upset. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, I'm like, boom, back to normal, feeling energized, feeling good. My digestion's good. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm not eating gluten. I don't eat oats. Pea protein seems to be a problem. I've avoided that for the most part. So what is the culprit? I have made a video in the past doing food journaling. If you're interested, I'll link it here. I've decided that for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do, maybe more, I'm going to do the same kind of food journaling. However, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So if you have ever looked into IBS or anything like that, usually they recommend a low FODMAP diet. Now, I'm basically going to try doing something similar to this, but I'm not going to follow the guidelines because there are things that I for sure know don't bother me. So I'm going to take what I did before, and instead of just writing it down and looking for things that might be bothering me, I'm going to start from ground zero of what I absolutely 100% know is not going to bother me, while keeping in a few small things that I believe are tolerable to an extent. For example, the pea protein. So there's a little bit of pea protein in some of the dairy-free yogurts, but I have switched to one that doesn't have any in it now. And I also have my Earth Balance butter. It does have some pea protein in it. So for example, those I'm just going to leave in for now. So I'm going to start with things that I know for sure don't bother me. Now, you might not know what's bothering you and what's not bothering you. I don't know. Something is bothering me. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, my cereal was something that I was very much questionable if it was bothering me. And I have a good rapport, at least I believe, when I think back to last week, from Thursday up until it's Monday now. So I've decided to keep it in. I kind of felt crappy, I'm not gonna lie. I felt a little yucky when I was eating it. I don't know if maybe that's just a thing where like some days I'll just feel not great eating cereal in the morning. Like I don't know if maybe my body likes having protein or something in the morning instead of grains. So that just might be something like that. You want to figure out how your body runs. I like to think my body runs on like a 2-day schedule. So if I ate something 2 days ago, it's probably going to affect me 2 days later, unless I eat something that's like horrible. But if I eat something that's mildly irritable, it's probably going to bug me 2 days later instead of literally the next day. So there are a couple things that we're going to try to figure out. As I've said in the past with my stomach, so with my digestion, like I have a scale, a stool scale, and I would prefer to be like on the high side of being close to perfect, which would be like solid and like going once a day or once every other day, something like that. One, feeling like garbage, feeling like almost like off balance or whatever. Like it's almost like if I was eating gluten still, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Just feeling yucky, and then having like softer stool, but nothing like actual diarrhea, okay? But like going more than once a day also is like like something's wrong, okay? You have to know your body. So you have to figure that out before you start trying to do this, or you might just get more confused. And I'm also keeping it simple. I know last time I made this video, some people are like, oh, like I don't want to like get super deep and like weighing things and measuring things and putting every single ingredient. If you want to make it simple and not overthink it, just dumb it down. So eat very, very simple whole foods, because some people with celiac disease, potentially me, only feel their best when they're eating like simple whole foods. So whether you're vegan or not, that means eating like your protein source with minimal seasonings probably, and like a carb source like rice or potatoes, whatever that may be, like pasta, and a vegetable. If you can stick with that, you'll probably feel really, really good, because I have spoken with other celiacs and they seem to have similar problems. And if they eat very plain, simple whole foods, they feel better. Back to where our starting point is. So I'm starting the next 2 weeks today. Some of the things that I'm going to be cutting out are anything that's kind of like pre-made, like salad dressings. This is going to be the part where you really have to know, like, does it bother me? So like vegan mayo, for example, I'm keeping it in because it has never bothered me. If you want to go even simpler, I would say cut out like no mayos, no vegan cheeses, like no, like I'm still keeping in a VH1 sauce that's a sweet garlic sauce that I put on soy curls, because that has never bothered me to my belief. So very minimal on the things that I'm keeping in that are like processed. Other things I'm cutting out is like chips. I feel like chips a lot of the time actually do bother my stomach. So I'm cutting out chips. I'm cutting out pasta sauces, which I have done before, and I brought it back in and I was fine, but I'm just going to cut it out. I'm going to cut out pasta. I'm going to try my best not to eat like raw, like broccoli or like kale, like stuff like that that's harder on your system, but I will keep in like tomatoes and cucumbers, like that's fine. I'll keep those in. Any fruits I'm keeping in. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it minimal with the things that have pea protein in them, so I won't be eating any dairy-free ice creams. Oh, another big thing, I think, sometimes when I eat sweets, I just feel like trash, or my stomach literally hurts after, which is really sad if I have to cut out sugar. But I'm cutting out processed sugar, with the exception of if I'm videotaping something and I need to taste test it for you guys or whatever, I will just taste test it. I'm going to try not do too many videos, food videos for the next 2 weeks, just for that reason. So then like I can just can freeze it, or Clay can eat some of it, whatever. So basically anything I bake that has sugar in it, or chocolate chips, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just eat some baked goods and I'm just like, I just don't feel good. Other times I could eat a donut at like 10 a.m. and after eating breakfast, and I'm like, I feel great. So I don't actually know what bothers my stomach. So that's where we're going. That's where we're starting. Oh, and like seasonings that I would just presume could cause stomach problems. So for example, like chili powder or curries or chipotle, or you'd think Cajun would be in there, but Cajun is totally fine with me. And we're going to base it off of a 2-day period. I'm trying not to introduce anything new. So any of these things, so like I'm not going to eat any of these things, tomato sauce, none of that stuff, tomato paste even, for the next 2 weeks, and then slowly introduce things again. So if I feel this good for the next 2 weeks straight, then I will start introducing something. I also do not eat lentils right now, so I believe canned lentils are a better idea. They're never like stamped gluten-free because they can't, but canned lentils have at least been washed and processed. Therefore, they are safer than if you bought them like just in a bag, because there can be particles of like wheat and stuff in them. I'm keeping in beans, cooked beans, keeping in garlic and onion, salt and pepper, Cajun. Yeah, seasonings like that. We're keeping in cumin, taco seasoning I think is okay too. And the dairy-free cheese, we're keeping it too. But keeping it to a minimum, okay? I have 2 notebooks. This one is brand new. I just got it for Christmas. Nothing in it. Now, I'm not going to obviously need this whole book, but if I ever decide I need to come back to figuring out what the hell I cannot eat, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to be using this small one for my meals. So I'm going to actually write down what I am eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, whatever. I'm going to write it in here. And this is going to be solely for food. And like I said, I'm not going to be writing like separate ingredients because this is very simple. I know all of my like recipes off by heart basically. So like I could just go back to my recipe and be like, oh, okay, that had soy sauce. Oh yeah, another thing I'm avoiding is sesame oil and seeds in bread. So I'm not going to be eating multi-grain bread, gluten-free bread. I'm just going to be eating the plain white bread that I have. So we're going to put all the food items in here every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, food only. My other notebook here, that's a nice big honkin' one. And I use this book actually for several different things. So I've been keeping up a history of like getting my family doctor and my appointments and the dentist, just different things like that, so that I can just have a record, and my gastroenterologist, just all of that stuff. So I have a record of like when I've seen my doctors, what I told them last time, what they told me last time, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And so I have started this new page and I'm just writing how I'm feeling. I started it on March 6th. And previous to that, I was feeling like crap. Once again, it's like either I get a good week and then I get like 2 shitty weeks, or I get like 4 or 5 days of feeling good and then like 2 days feeling like crap, or like almost 2 weeks straight of feeling like crap. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like I do have a shared kitchen. For the most part, we're very gluten-free in our home, but we do share like the oven. There does get gluten in there. I just have a regular convection oven. So like I said, today I'll start with my food here. I'll just put in that I had cereal, and then I'll decide what I'm going to have for lunch and then write it in there. And so I've already started. So Friday, March 6th, I was feeling off. This was at work. I was feeling off, a little bit kind of like anxious or something. I believe the day before I had eaten like part of a donut and was like hit with food anxiety, and I was like, I don't understand. That was really weird. Like I feel fine. But then I ate lunch and I felt like sick, and then I had an upset stomach. And for like maybe half an hour after, I was like, oh, like I don't feel good. Like I was telling my coworkers like, I don't know, I don't feel good. And then I was better. And I was like, okay, so it's just like something bothered me, and now that it's out of my system, I'm fine, I guess. Weird, but like, okay, not very weird for me. So then for that whole weekend up until Tuesday, I had energy and my stomach was all good. It felt back to normal and everything. So this is where I keep referring back to the Wednesday. So the Tuesday and Wednesday that next week, I felt like garbage. I felt so sick, and I don't know why. I do know we did have some gluten going on in the house on a Sunday, but I'm not sure if that would have done anything. Like it wasn't like there was flour all over the house. So, and I'm very cleanly, like I get really paranoid and just clean everything down, so I don't think I was cross-contaminated. Another thing I am not having, this goes in line with the sugar stuff, is pancakes. Usually we do pancakes on Sunday. I've decided no to the pancakes. So this is going to be just how I'm feeling in line with the food. So I'll have food separately, and then I'll have the days where I feel like crap, or like I'll probably do an update today because I have an update for Tuesday when I felt like crap during breakfast. I couldn't finish my cereal. So that's one of, if you've seen my videos before, that's one of my key signs is that something's going on from like the last day or two that's bothered me, is I am not hungry for breakfast, or I struggle to finish my breakfast. Like I said, today I was kind of eating my cereal and like kind of feeling gross by the end, but I feel really hungry now, and it's been like an hour later. So, and I didn't really feel like bad. I just felt kind of like, bleh, like maybe that shouldn't be the first thing you eat in the morning. But I have had many times where I eat cereal the first thing in the morning and I'm totally fine. So, and then I just basically state like if I couldn't finish my breakfast, or like what is your normal, if you know, and like is this abnormal behavior. So the last thing that I'm going to note and try to be really, really good at, because I get in a really bad habit of staying up really late till like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm sleeping until like 11 or 12. We're trying to just get back into a good sleep routine for the next 2 weeks, trying to go to bed 12 to 12:30 and getting up at a normal, like, I don't know, 9 a.m. maybe. And then obviously when I work, it will be easier to go to bed earlier. So that's another key point that I've noticed. If I go to bed earlier and get up at a normal time, like 9 o'clock, I feel better as well. and obviously keeping up on that water. I feel like that's just common sense. So this is my starting point, and I will update you whenever something changes. If I start feeling like crap, I will be videotaping and updating you, okay? So we can maybe know as we go. And if we're feeling great, we'll see you next week. And I will just do a little update of my whole week for you. It has been 1 week, so it is Monday yet again. And I want to give you a little update. So all Monday to Friday, I had my cereal and I felt amazing, eating super simple. I am actually filming a what I ate in a week this whole 2 weeks, so I can just link those once they're ready. Super simple, and honestly, I've been feeling really, really good. Like literally, I'm like, how is this possible? I feel like amazing. I haven't felt this good for this long in so long. So I tried a couple smoothies on the weekend, 2 different kinds. That was one of the only things that I kind of like tried doing this weekend. And I think I put too many blueberries in my Saturday one, because not that I didn't feel good or anything yesterday on Sunday, but my stomach seemed to like maybe the blueberries were going through me, if you know what I mean. So unusual, but at the same time, if it was just the blueberries, and I felt fine, I'm not mad. I've just been writing everything down. So there we go. That's where we're at for our diary, and then I just have to update in the other journal. So that's my 1 week down. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. I can't remember if I updated you guys on Sunday or Monday, but we've had a little blip, and I have no idea. Like, it is so small. I looked back on a couple days ago, and I ate sweet potato yesterday for lunch, and I also ate sweet potato the night before, which I haven't had sweet potatoes in forever, but I didn't see them as being something that could harm me. Also I had an apple last night, but like I've had apples plenty of times, and I've also drink my apple grape juice all the time. So I don't understand how those things could have disrupted my system. However, I feel like something just completely demolished everything. Like, just this morning I felt ill while eating breakfast and my stomach was upset, and then I felt sick after, and I tried to go to work and I was like, my stomach hurts and it's like, I feel like garbage and it's not getting better. So I came home and my stomach was just 100% ruined. I seriously don't understand how it could get that bad from anything I ate. Very odd. We're gonna go and deep dive into what the heck could have really caused that. Maybe it's still lingering from days ago when I had too much fat. I honestly couldn't tell you at this moment, so we're just going to cross our fingers and tomorrow will be better. I'll update you when things change and see how things go. Welcome back. It is the end of our 2 weeks of doing our elimination style diet and tracking our food. I have my food journal and I have written everything down in here for the last 2 weeks, and I'm still doing it today because, as you know, we had a blip and I was really sick on Thursday for apparently no reason, because things that I've eaten a million times before all throughout my adulthood. So anyways, we also have my written side of things. Now, I told you guys that I was doing both in different journals, so that it's a little bit easier, so we can literally just see, okay, what did I eat 2 days ago? Because generally my system seems to work on a 2-day basis, 48 hours. However, I will say I found out, I believe if I eat something really fatty, like deep fried, something that's like loaded with fats, it's gonna affect me probably right the next day. If I eat, say, way too many blueberries, it's probably gonna affect my gut tomorrow. It's not going to be 2 days from now. So this is where it gets a little complicated, but I'll just share it with y'all a little bit. So my food diary, how I did it. We started on a Monday. Day 1, I just wrote breakfast, lunch, snacks if I have it, supper, and then if I had any snacks after that point as well. I didn't really write down much for drinks because I usually just have like my grape apple juice. maybe some other type. I generally, that's kind of it. And then like bubblies or a Haas, so like sparkling water, and then just regular water. So I try to drink 2 liters a day. Probably don't get that in a day, but I try. Okay, I try. So I just literally went through and wrote everything down, every little thing. I also like the one day I started taking vitamin D. I only took it 2 days because then I got sick. On the 3rd day, that was the Thursday I got really sick. And, I just decided I don't want to take the vitamin D anymore because I didn't know what was going on. So I also started taking my multivitamin again. I guess I forgot to say it in my food diary video. Sunday night, yeah, I started taking my multivitamin again. I'm thinking with feeling, if my stomach's upset or feeling malnourished or whatever, like probably my multivitamin I should keep in there. And I had like 2 weeks, I think. Those whole 2 weeks I didn't take any multivitamins. So a little more looking at my food diary, just literally really simple. You don't have to make it too complicated if you don't want to. Obviously, with elimination diets, you generally start pretty simple. You shouldn't need anything like too extensive because it's simple. That's the key, is being really simple. So obviously, it's really frustrating to have such an upset on Thursday morning when I'm literally like, it's all food I've eaten before. Nothing new other than the vitamin D, I guess. That shouldn't have destroyed me so thoroughly as I was on Thursday morning. It was really awful. I have not been that sick in a while, so it's really quite confusing, You think you just can't eat gluten and dairy, and then next thing you know, you're eating sweet potatoes and stuff you've eaten before, and you're literally dying the next 2 days later. It is what it is. We keep going. Okay, so I also will just show y'all a little bit. Actually, maybe I won't show you, but I'll just tell you. I know I showed this in the beginning of the video. So I started on Monday, I think it was the 16th. Yeah, so I started the food diary on Monday the 16th, and I started in here Monday the 16th. I had been writing down a little bit in the beginning of March because I was feeling really bad earlier on in the month as well. Very bad. Like, this is so common for me to just go back and forth. Like, 1 week I'm good, the next week I'm bad. 1 week I'm 6 out of 7 days I'm great. One day I'm awful. Like, it's really, really, really frustrating, to be honest, but I'm at the point where I'm just like, I guess I'm gonna get sick. Like, I'm literally trying my best. I'm seeing my doctors. I'm trying. Okay. So yeah, because I felt so good from Monday all the way up until that Thursday the next week, I didn't really write down that much because I was just feeling good. Like, I'm not just gonna write down, okay, Tuesday felt good, Wednesday felt good. I'm just going to write down and make sure I'm tracking the moments that are unusual, or like, so if I was tired or if I was starving, like on Friday after my stomach was so bad on Thursday, I had no energy, I just did nothing. Even though I was feeling bad all day, I was starving. So I feel like when my stomach just like expels everything that exists, like something just thoroughly ruined it, I have no nutrients. Like, my stomach didn't absorb like anything, and I'm starving. And it leads into the next day too. So on Friday, I was trying to eat more and get more nutrients into my body. So I've started doing more like either a bigger breakfast, or instead of just cereal, maybe I'm going to have some peanut butter toast with my cereal. So then I have more in my body. A lot of this too, I'm kind of tracking, like, so I base off of my stomach feeling, how I'm feeling mentally, how I'm feeling physically, like tired wise, etc. But also, I think I said this in the beginning of the video, my actual stomach pains, stomach feelings. So like, if I'm pushing here and it hurts, that's a bad sign. If I'm bloated, if I'm gassy, depending on what I eat, that could be bad, it could be fine. And then obviously the actual excrements. Okay, that's a big thing for me. If you watch any of my other videos with that I'm talking about my health stuff, it is a big thing. It's a big marker for me of whether my gut is okay, if it's digesting things, if I should be avoiding certain things. It's just hard to tell what. We have done so much Googling and so much research into every single type of thing that could be wrong. Crohn's, colitis, diverticulitis, IBS, just literal food allergies. Like I'm looking at like malabsorption issues, fructose issue, malabsorption, like literally what could be related with with celiac and other things. Like, is there a sweet potato allergy? Like, is there certain vegetables, or I don't know, because there's so many things. I'm just googling and I'm just kind of like, I don't know where to go from here. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep tracking and just keep writing, and we're going to see if we find any patterns. I'm going to do more of an elimination diet, more on the low FODMAP side of things for real, and see if it is the high fermentation foods that are bothering me, and also just actually like cutting out more processed, like the garlic sauce that I think potentially messed me up. I'm going to try the sweet potatoes again, document that, look forward to another video because I'm probably going to do a more extensive low FODMAP diet video, and we will just keep this tracking because when we go to the doctor, I'm going to be presenting, listen, I've been telling you since I stopped eating gluten, more things are problems. And you know what? He just don't listen. I mean, you're supposed to be a gastroenterologist and you're only concerned about my celiac disease. So we're just going to keep trucking along. And when we have our good days, we take advantage of them. And when we have our bad days, we just take it in stride one day at a time. We will get better. And we're going to keep pushing them doctors. And you know what? My next step is eventually I'm going to go to find a naturopath, because I feel like maybe they're more well-versed in this kind of stuff than general practitioners or my gastro doctor, because that is it. That is all. If you have any questions about how I'm doing this, or you want to check out one of my other videos that I've done, something very similar in the past. Apparently, actually, every time I do this, I figure something out. Last time, I think it was oats. Enjoy the ride. That is my life of figuring out what I can eat. But with that will be the end of my video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me struggle. And don't forget to check out my food journal side of this video, basically, to see exactly what I've been eating for this last 2 weeks. I will link it here if it is up. I will see you in the next video. Bye!